Welcome to Feed Your Lion. I'm Dr. Jodelle Yount, and I'm here to aid you in the mastery of total health, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, and financial. So prepare to have your wellness tank filled up with this podcast. Welcome to another episode of Feed Your Lion podcast. So my friend Asif is here today, and he does a lot of cool stuff. He's a chiropractor, and he does functional medicine things, and he also on the side does a food truck, so that's cool too. But anyways, Asif, thank you for coming on. We're going to kind of roll down all the list of things that you do, and there's a lot there. So anyways, but I appreciate you coming on, and go ahead and just start us off with your background and what brought you to L.I.O.N and into chiropractic medicine too.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me, first of all. Long story. I'm into a little bit of everything, and I don't know. It's somehow got ingrained with me somewhere over the years. I wasn't always like this. I would rather prefer one thing and go down that path. But okay. Well, my story in Ashland, it seems like I've always been here.
Yeah.
My earliest memory of me in Ashland is at grade school, Crab Elementary, right around the corner.
I don't think I knew you went to elementary here. I don't think I knew. Like, I thought you moved from, I thought you were like West Virginia for some reason, but okay.
Yeah, well, my family's originally started out in Huntington. So I guess I'm first, I don't know, would that be like first generation immigration or like second, to Ashland, straight off the Mayflower to Ashland,
Well, I'm glad I got it from somewhere. I thought West Virginia, so that must have been where I got that.
Well, yeah, Huntington. So I mean, it's all like
the same.
It's all the same.
Yeah.
So I've been here a long time since I was a kid. Grew up here, and what got me into healthcare or wanting to be a doctor is my uncle was a family doctor at King's Daughters. He was a family practice and general surgeon. And he did that forever and ever until he retired. So I kind of shadowed him and observed him over the years. And being from immigrant parents from Pakistan, they don't allow you to become anything else. You have like two options: doctor, engineer. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. So you're either stuck in those two worlds. Even though I hated math and I hated everything like that.
I don't know if I told you my med school roommate was Indian, and we joked about that all the time because and then. Her whole family, that's like what they were all like, high achieving, like you're not, and like, it's the same thing, like, we had like a couple of our other friends were Asian. They're like, it's the same thing here. It was like just our families have, but it was just funny. I'm like, it was definitely a thing we talked about a lot.
And it's funny because my parents aren't physicians.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they wanted me to have their dream. Dream. Well, they didn't really care, but they always acted like they, it was no other choice. But I talked to them now about it, and they were like, well, you could have been whatever you wanted to be. It's like, whatever. You all are so... Because they have grandkids now, and they like tell them that. But when it came to me and my sister, it was like,
this is what you're doing.
You have two choices.
That's funny. What did your sister do?
She's currently working in healthcare. She does all the stuff that we doctors hate, auditing charts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll give that to her.
So that's what she does, and she works for a company in Tampa, and so
Okay.
But she's also worked in healthcare with the pediatrician's office. She was the office manager there for several years, and and then she's living the good life in Tampa.
Did your parents, were they originally in West Virginia, or did they?
Yeah. So the story is like my father.
Okay.
His sister, my aunt, is married to Dr. Akhtar, who's like, so that's how we immigrated through that chain immigration, where you can invite your brothers and sisters, and there's a visa process and time and all this other stuff. And in the 80s and 70s, that era was less turbulent
Yeah.
as it is today.
Yeah.
So um, I always talk to people about immigration because Americans, we don't know about anything like that kind of stuff. Like an example is my wife has applied for her brothers and sisters to immigrate here to eventually start a life here because eventually you don't want to be 10,000 miles from your family,
Right.
So that visa process has been going on for 12 years.
Are you
And
serious?
still no, it's in limbo in process. So there is something to be said about these kind of things. Is it, and I'm just going to be real here, is it because Pakistan is a brown country and a Muslim country majority? Is it because it's not jolly old England?
Yeah.
Like what's the difference here?
Yeah.
And no one can tell you, no one's going to define it, but you know what it is.
Yeah.
I believe that's the strategy, and it's been implemented depending on what administrations over the years
Just
yeah.
delay it indefinitely kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah. I mean, it's cut and dry. It's not like any one individual or any one thing. I just feel like it's an overall strategy that's being implemented by the powers to be, and it has nothing to do with getting qualified people. Like I'm a citizen of this country. I don't want
Right.
gangsters coming in here.
Right.
Like I would want someone who's got like a good degree, family people. Like you want to have control of the
Right.
space that you live. So
100%.
yeah. So I don't disagree with some stuff, but I'm just saying that some powers to be have taken it too far.
Sure.
Should be cut and dry.
Sure. Yeah.
It's a 4-year window. Boom, boom, boom.
Right.
A, B, and C. This is what you got to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you compared or looked into like other countries like immigration processes?
Well, yeah. What I find out, so I have family in Spain. I have family in Saudi Arabia. I have family. Mostly, what it involves is cash rules everything around me. Like that's it. If you got the money, there's ways to then
to speed it up.
Yeah, because then your background doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You belong to the green skinned people.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It's all about the Benjamins, that's so, and that's how it is with any industry.
Yeah.
It's not just immigration.
Right.
You could do that with, it seems like if you want to search for truth, then you need to go to like the grassroots. You're not going to get truth from like, let me go to Bill Gates and get truth. Because it's too far corrupted. There's too much money involved.
Or your news stations.
Yeah, or your news stations, right? Yeah, yeah. Sponsored by, just whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, that's the hard part. And this, being in medicine. And we're going to get into this early. Like, why can't we all get on the same page? What's blocking? Where's the disconnect? The cognitive dissonance, they call it. Where's that disconnect? And I think it's the powers that be. We all get degrees, but what are the institutions that provide those degrees, and who are they affiliated with?
Well, I talk about that all the time with medicine, right? Like, yes, I went through the whole traditional med school, residency, all that, and great, I got, how to do an ER thing, but was I really helping somebody, like, in their health, like, journey or I wasn't. Like, all the things I'm doing now, I've had to like look and find it on my own and learn it on my own, and like it's kind of like when you think about that, wow, there's this huge gap.
Yeah, we always this is going to be a great conversation because it's coming from, you went through medical school and we went through chiropractic college, and like they're very similar up into like a certain point, and it seems like different branches start happening, and you're a DO, so you're really closely related to chiropractic because of the whole joints and everything else.
The OMM we learned.
And so talking with my chiropractic professors, at one time those fields were all sitting side by side together in one school of thought, and it started branching after really, I would say the Rockefellers and stuff started getting into.
It was the greenskins again.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was back in there. They started. Well, I mean, like the 1800s,
Yes,
you'd go to your barber,
right. You're right.
and he would do everything.
Yes.
Like he was like
all these specialty colleges started popping up. Yes, 100%. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so it's always, but I love history, and I don't get like offended in it. I just like love how people would think. And that's the way things turned out. And so, like, and some people get all, like, in their feelings about history. I don't. None of us did anything that happened 100 years ago. Mm-hmm. It's like, but we can discuss it and we can talk about it. Yeah.
And we can try to prevent some things from reoccurring, which they have a thing of doing, like, I don't get that either. I've never been a thing of, like, we're offended by something that never, like, actually happened to us or something. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
But I can see that as human nature. Like, it's when like people start affiliating themselves with, well, I think in my DNA, my family was Romans. Like, okay, like, well, that empire stretched from here to here to, it's just like, I don't know, like, it's just too much of like trying to find your ancestry. Like, it's cool to know like where it is, but at the same time, it's like, it's hard to pin down. Like when you just like, oh, I have 1/16 of Scandinavian in me, you're just like, okay, like what does that even mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it is interesting. I'm with you. Like, I went down the rabbit hole trying to find that. There was a girl I worked with who was really good at digging up ancestry. Yeah. So she traced it back until basically it went back to England for, you know what I mean? Like before it crossed the pond, basically. And it's just interesting to learn.
It is cool. Like, I think it's cool.
But I do think sometimes we go too far, and people are just easily offended nowadays anyways, like in general, like you can't have a discussion anymore without people getting riled up about how that is though.
I know people, I've been there. I've probably got little in my feelings a few times about stuff easily. Lainey probably knows that, but she comes talks to me.
Lainey's a good one to listen to all the
like
things.
Oh, he's on it again. I'm gonna just stay here about 5 minutes and leave.
I feel like you're reasonable though. I don't feel like you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I could have a conversation and we could disagree and not have a fight about it, and we could disagree about it and just be like, okay, like you have that and I believe that it's okay.
Because you're never going to change someone's mind, and then when some things are so set in stone, it's like I'm just trying to enjoy the person for who they are. Yeah. Like, I'm not trying to like tear them down to anything. It's like I like you for as a person and who you are, and that's it. And just we're all weird.
Exactly. We're all weird. And stay weird. It's great. Like, be weird. Exactly. Okay, so like the chiropractic thing though, you said you didn't start off. Your parents kind of wanted you to go one path.
Yeah, and like, they were like, "What the hell is a chiropractor?" Like. They were like, oh my, their thing of a doctor is I give a shot, or I give you a drug, or I, just a typical, just standard Little House on the Prairie doctor, like, that, like with a doctor's bag, and I have there's hilarious. A drug for every problem, and that's their whole vision, because that's what they were programmed to see their entire life, right? They weren't, like even like a PhD, someone who's like, man, this dude's a researcher. Like, I think PhDs are like the highest form of doctorate, because they're super smart in their fields, and and they're like, what the hell's a PhD? It's a college professor. Well, it's like, and they didn't make a face like I just did, but it's like.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So I'm
they
like,
totally stereotype.
They're like, what? A back doctor? Okay, people have back pain. It's like, I'm like, yeah,
this
sure.
Is hilarious.
I'm like, I'm just trying to fill off, check mark the quota that you gave me. Be a doctor, check.
That's hilarious.
And then so My college days, I tell you, like I was always one of those students that didn't need to study until I did.
Yeah.
Like I always got high school was like, I mean, like people fail high school, I just want to slap them.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the easiest thing. You just have to pay attention in class and take a test.
Yeah.
So that wasn't a problem. First couple years in undergrad wasn't a problem until I got to like the 300 level classes, and then I'm like, you mean I gotta remember shit? Like it's like So that by my junior year, I started getting into the college burnout. So then I was like, I didn't even take my MCAT because I was that burned out. I just was looking to my next enrollment where I was going to go. So I started looking everywhere. I was like, well, I'm scrambling my senior year at UK, and I'm like, what do I want to do? What kind like who's gonna help me? I don't even know the cost of college.
Like, so you didn't even know till last minute.
I didn't know because like no one's there to guide me. My parents are just regular people working jobs there, even though we had all these connections with all these doctors in the communities, Indian and Pakistani and whatever. But no one's gonna reach out to this person. You have to guide yourself or whatever. Yeah. Or I wasn't there at that time to ask them for help. Like, what do I do? I need some guidance or support.
Yeah.
So eventually, I just started just doing my thing and started traveling. I visited 3 chiropractic colleges. Okay. I visited Life in Atlanta because I was like, hey, we can go to Atlanta. Atlanta's a big city. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Let's see how it is. I did not like Atlanta.
I don't like Atlanta either.
Yeah, it just something about it was just off to me. Yeah. Like just I don't know what it is. I can't explain. Innately, I just was like
it didn't fit with you.
Yeah. And then I visited Dallas in Parker in Dallas. So and when I got there, it was like 147 degrees outside.
Oh, no.
And I was like, F this. I am not staying down in Texas. I am not a Texas dude. So then I ended up visiting. I said, let's go to St. Louis. Nellie's down there. Let's go down there. And so we went down there. And it was St. Louis was like Louisville.
I love all your 90s rap references. I mean, before we started he was talking about Tupac. I love it.
Well, it was all what's in your life at that time, right?
Yes.
So you're just going by. I mean, the Cardinals were winning World Series, and so I was like, St. Louis isn't bad. It's a nice town, and the college was in a nice part of town. It felt right. Yeah. Like something. Yeah. It just felt like it peaceful. Clicked. Yeah. So I'm just like, I'm here. And plus, they still did cadaver labs and all this other stuff. So I was going to cut on people. I mean. And learn anatomy and physiology the right way. So I was like sold. Yeah. But I still didn't know what chiropractor was, really. I really didn't know.
You're like, I'm definitely going to school here. It's good. But I don't really know what I'm going to be doing. But
so, I went for my interview. They accepted me. My grades were just good enough, I guess, to get in. And I didn't have to take an MCAT. And that was the great part because I was not prepared for MCAT with... Like, I'm preparing my kids now with, like, ACT, SAT stuff. And I'm like, daggone, I can't do any of this stuff. Like, you forget. I mean, you can't do the math and chemistry and the things of that nature. But I got in, and then my first year or two there, I struggled because I didn't know how to study. I brought that crappy little, work ethic with me. And I got there, and I got smacked in the face. But luckily, I made good friends because for some reason, making friends for me is easy. Yeah. That's like, I got a PhD in that. Yeah. And so I would just study with them, and they started okay, put me on the spot, go up there and give me a lecture on this part of class that we just went over, and I would have to tell them, and then they would correct me if things I was missing or not missing. Yeah. And then I would do the same thing with them, and that's how we began studying. I'd learned that for me, in order for me to teach it, is the best way for me to learn it. It's like, and then I can comfortably tell my patients now or this, but I have to get up and talk about it and make mistakes and, go back and correct it. Like, I have to, like, play with the material.
We were actually just having this conversation. I had jujitsu this morning, and I was just talking to Phil, my instructor, about that. He's like, yeah, sometimes I like to let other people teach because you have to really know something, or like you learn it really quick if you're teaching it, because it's a different level. It's like, I mean, that's, it's not just regurgitating. You're actually having to, like.
What if someone has questions, like, about something? And
exactly.
And what I've learned now in 17 years of practice is that experience is like it's everything. Mm-hmm. Like when I first got out of chiropractic college, I remember I had to adjust a baby for the first time. How many babies did I adjust in school? Like 0. And I remember I was like, oh shit, I gotta adjust a baby. I don't know. Can I adjust a baby? Like, and it was all just confidence issue. You've done the training, you know exactly what to do. You're just in your head because it's a squishy little baby that, and mom's right over your head, watching you. Yeah. So, but and now it's just like, you don't even think about those kind of things. But it just comes with experience, touching thousands of patients and then just going from there. But one thing that has got me to this point is like I just like when I know that they're not getting better, mm-hmm. I immediately don't waste their time. I like refer them out. Yeah. Because like sometimes you can like I've done treatment before where I felt like, okay, I need to give up, but the patient didn't give up. Yeah. The patient's like, I can't go anywhere else because no one else is helping me. Yeah. And this is the only thing helping me, even though it's not taking me to 100%. To where I want to go. Yeah. And I've had to be like, holy crap, they checked me. Like, maybe, am I doing something wrong as a doctor? Or, like they got more belief and hope in you
than you do.
Yeah, and that happened recently. And this guy's like a heart patient. He's got all these problems, and we adjust him, and his heart gets better. Like literally on the spot. I'm like, don't tell your cardiologist because they're gonna be like, oh, this quackery, what's going on? Yeah. And some of the cardiologists have been cool within. Some of them have been very like, I'm in my ego and this is what needs to be. And I don't care either way, just like what's helping the patient. So
that's again a thing though. Like, I don't understand why there's so much ego in medicine. I've talked about this before so much. And I'm like, your ultimate goal should be what's best for the patient. And a lot of times that's collaboration. Like, and I feel like we've lost a lot of that art in medicine. Like sometimes not, but like in some ways, like what you just said, like, it can be hard to reach out to people and stuff without it being like a.
It happens to us more in the chiropractic profession than I think any other profession. I may be wrong on this. Example, we'll have someone come in for a car accident. Yeah. Okay? Whiplash, strain sprain or whatever like that. So like some people will start treating them and then, okay, I was like, okay, go to your primary. We need some help with some inflammation. Maybe they can prescribe some steroids and some medicine to help you out. Okay, do that. Great. Well, then the primary, for whatever reason, a lot of these primary docs, and I'm just going to call it out in YouTube world, wherever we're at, that I don't appreciate them without consulting the other treating physician to say, you don't need chiropractic, you need PT. Yeah. First of all, we're skeletal muscle professionals, or that's what our entire line is based on. And you don't even have the common courtesy to call and say what kind of treatment you're doing, what are you doing, and they automatically, well, why? Because for some reason there's now, because PT is done at the hospitals, there's more of an understanding. Why isn't chiropractic done at the hospitals? Because there's a big misconception that chiropractors hate medicine and hate surgery. Mm-hmm. Like, who loves medicine and who loves surgery? Right.
Pharmaceutical companies are actually the ones
crackheads,
who love that.
like who
But
does it?
I was gonna say,
As a human being, like we would want to be free of any of those things if we could.
Right, exactly, yes.
So it's not that we hate those things or anything like that. It's just that if we can do some sort of conservative treatment to a point that it can get them better, but if we can't, then those are the next stages of.
That's what functional medicine is, though. I mean, you're avoiding a lot of that with good nutrition and movement, and you know what I mean. Like that's the whole point. You don't want to be.
I had a cousin just come from Spain. Okay, so this is now we're going to get a world view. So she's in Spain. She comes down, and she's at my house, and we're talking, and she's like, "I've been having all this heartburn and indigestion and all this stuff like that," and I'm just like,
since being back from,
I was like, we need to get her gut health up. This is what she's eating, and I'm like, so by the way, what is your doctors giving you? Oh, I've been prescribed Nexium for the last 7 years of my life, and now she's like losing her hair, doing just all kinds of crap having with her, and we're just like, oh, let me write you a script and just go on, and never really think of it that kind of stuff like. Even with my health care, no one has ever asked me, hey, Asif, do you want to be removed off your medication of thyroid that I've prescribed you? Or can you be removed? Yeah. What can you do to make it get better? You got to be completely gluten-free and blah, blah, blah. You know, what is the other option? Yeah. But what I'm finding out is, just like you had to do extensive amount of studying after school, and such as myself, I had to do the same to learn this stuff. Yeah. A lot of practitioners aren't taking the time to learn this stuff because why would you? When you have a busy practice that someone else is flooding you the patients, you're not doing the legwork. Yeah. See, I come from an era where my uncle was like, they didn't have, like the hospital wasn't pushing, they had private practice. Yeah. They build those practices over time through community trust. Yes. Right? But today's day and age, it's just like, okay, I'm going to go work for something or someone or some entity or group. You'll get a cushy little salary. Then next thing you know, you become a technician on assembly line, just crank them out, and that's what. And
you get 10 minutes.
Yes, that's what's wrong with healthcare. It's like if every doctor actually got the chance to be a doctor that they were trained to be. It's not that these people out here they want to do that. It's number one, schooling costs is outrageous. You got to buy a house, a car, this and that. The salaries aren't like people are like, oh, you're making so much money. I guarantee they're not if they're having to pay for all of that themselves. And, malpractice insurance, all this stuff like that. Yep. And so it's just like this big perception. And I think it goes back to my parents. Why do they want me to be a doctor? Because of the concept of, oh, you're a doctor, you won't struggle like we are in this world paying for bills, right? You're working hard and this. So that's their immigrant concept. Well, in today's day and age, I don't know, like people understand the depths of, getting in debt. Like students, like, it's even getting yourself out of $30,000, which is like a vehicle, right? It's a struggle. It's an extra bill that you have to pay if your income is only providing you this many resources.
Well, and I saw somebody do the full math on it, because even with physicians, and I've talked about this, if you're working, first of all, it's, 8 years of school on the front end, right? And you're not working anything during that, right? Unless some little job during college or something. But then you have to have your residency, 4 or 5 years, and you're making below minimum wage for working 80 to 100 hours, right? So you've got, at that point, 12 or 13 years while everybody's working in their regular jobs, where you're not anything. And then you come out and you have on top of that an average of 300, 400,000 in debt from your school. So it's not what people think. And and you're right, you have all these extra expenses, especially if you're doing your own office. It's insane. We both know that. With the malpractice and just paying employees I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff, and like people have no clue,
Yeah, it's just so that's why I understand why people would like the medicine has changed as well too, that they're hiring as a group, as an entity. I mean, we have no choice but to work at the hospital.
Yeah.
And you can't really run a private practice, but you lose your like freedom. Like, I'm a big freedom person. Like,
too.
And you lose your freedom of like how you want to treat a patient because now the doctors and nurses aren't controlling healthcare. The MBA at the hospital and your office manager is yelling at the doctor because they didn't do this procedure and that procedure.
Yep.
And that's where I would have a problem.
Or you didn't document it this way or that way to get more billable things. Like, I mean,
there's all kinds of
things,
stuff going on right now with the EMR system over there.
I've heard a lot. They're not happy.
Yeah.
But it's I'm with you. That's the big reason I want out. I can't say by any means money was more, because that was not the case. But I get to see people how I want, and if there's somebody who says, "Hey, why don't you check into this? That may be beneficial," or if they're coming to me with something that I don't know how to treat, I can do the legwork to look at that, and that's much more rewarding to me in some ways,
Yeah, and I'm a dude that like a truther, okay? Like I'm always into good conspiracies, but most things in this world aren't conspiracies if you just freaking open your mind. A lot of people are just gullible. They think people and governments do things out of the goodness of their heart. And that's like the total biggest lie. Like, example of COVID, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, we have a virus going crazy. Does it hurt for anybody to get on TV and tell the truth? Like, hey guys, it was leaked, accident, not on purpose. Something happened. We don't know what the hell's going on right now. Like, we suggest everyone kind of stay away from each other. Or maybe, we can get herd immunization if we, just tell the truth instead of just freaking covering it up. And saying stupid lies, like drawing arrows on a grocery store, or like grandma wearing her rubber gloves at the gas station and then at the grocery store, and then people pulling their masks on and off, and just all kinds of weirdness happened. I thought it was like Mad Max era. Like people were just like looking at you funny if you wore a mask, if you didn't wear a mask. I just wanted to be in fight mode the whole time. Like I just wanted to be like, man,
I think I was.
This world has gone crazy, and just leave people alone. And the simplest thing is, like, okay, we'll get a little bit political here. The simplest thing is, what's wrong with people? Okay, say your favorite president was Abraham Lincoln, and mine was Herbert Hoover. I don't know. And one was a Republican, one's a Democrat. Mm-hmm. So Abraham Lincoln gets in, and I just love him death. So now I'm going to trust him for everything death. But if Herbert Hoover is in, I don't really trust that because I don't really like him. No, it's not about liking somebody. It's about like who's telling the truth. And both of them are working for the same entity.
Right.
When are you people going to realize that? And I am saying you people, that's everybody in America. When are you going to understand that?
Yeah.
And all over the world, that like I trust my neighbor more than I trust the federal government or anything else, because that's a real tangible person next to me. I've observed and visualized and talked to, and if they were like, Asif, this is what I found out through my resources, and I can use my brain to say, okay, he's not batshit crazy, I can look into that. I should have some sort of trust in him. But what people start doing in these times of situations is, like, they forget about all the shittiness the government has done to people in the past with experiments and everything else, and they're just like, yeah.
Do you think we as Americans have given away too much power to the government? Because I absolutely do.
They were starting a war over 1% tax on tea that Americans don't even drink.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like, and now we're just like, it's for some, if it's the fluoride in the water that's doing something, I don't know what it is, but it's something that it's like seriously, like you could, like you're literally being oppressed right now
Yeah.
as a citizen of the world. Most governments like, and it's like people don't even care. Like, and me and my dad talk about this.
Do you think it's because they don't
Yeah.
care, or they are not willing to like have a fight about it? Like, what do you like? Because I don't know. Do you like, I feel like
I think people. So here's my theory: people don't care as long as they have food on their table. Soon as you start taking that food and a livelihood, like, so Americans, like, seriously, I grew up in America all my life, and then I have family in Pakistan. We have not really witnessed poverty here, like poverty in, like, say, Africa or Asia or South America, somewhere that's like that is happening. And there's a whole theory behind that. They have all the resources, but why are they so poor? That gets into other kind of political stuff. But the thing is, like, and until we get hungry enough or desperate enough, we're not going to change, right? It's like me in med school. It took me falling face first and saying, like, you're on your own. No one's going to help you. You better get your butt in gear and start studying and learning how to study before I learned that lesson.
yeah.
And that's the same way Americans, like, look at here. Everyone's complaining about money, but name one of your friends who doesn't have a new F-150.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who doesn't have the best clothing, has the $1,000 iPhones, has the best of what, like, who's struggling?
Like real struggle.
Yeah, like who's really struggling?
Yeah.
And those are the people that are struggling, and they have a hard time coming out because now half of society looks at them like, well, you're poor on purpose because you want to be poor. Okay, I want to slap the shit out of you for saying that, Like, who does that? I'm poor on purpose, It's everyone's born with different circumstances and different perspectives and different things, and they have to dig themselves out. Like,
Well-
my parents didn't come with $1 million; they came with a suitcase and
Yeah.
a dream.
Yeah.
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 And they survived and thrived and got me to a point here.
Yeah.
And now I should look at, I can complain to Americans. Look at what my parents did. Why you've been
Yeah.
here 200 years, you ain't done shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've talked about issues with that before, though, too, because it's not just one thing. I
Yeah.
mean, there's so many, like,
It is. I mean, just it's everything is more complex. It's not just a gray, a black and white. It's more gray in everything. Like, people have circumstances, they have to deal with stuff. You don't know what's going on necessarily and that's why I'm like, if someone, like, for us, if someone wants to do private practice, that's fine. If someone wants to not have all that stress and wants to go work for a company or something, great, by all means. You just have to know, like, when you work for somebody, you're going to have to do certain things.
Certain freedoms are taken away.
Yeah, and that's just, you just got to come to peace.
Everything's a trade-off.
Yeah, you got to come to peace with that. Like, you may have less income working privately, but you may have a more peace of mind, and you feel richer at heart,
Yes.
So I just don't, I think as I get older, like, some of these things are way more important to me. Like, when I was younger, I was just like, oh, to feel successful means I have to drive a Mercedes and have to live in a big house. And then people will give me respect and I'll be, so that's such a, like I don't tell my kids that.
Yeah.
I tell my kids, do what makes you happy, what's going to make you enjoy your work and job. I don't care if you are, I don't know, doing whatever, hanging out at Little Caesars holding the sign up.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do, go for it.
Yeah. I think a lot of things though too is in youth there's a lot of ego driven things more than like as you get older, like there's a little more wisdom there hopefully.
Yeah.
And there's a little more like lessons learned, and I think like the ego side kind of quiet down a little bit maybe. I don't know.
I've always hated people that flash. And I think that's why, like we were talking about that chain story, like wearing a chain.
Yeah.
And like I cringe, like my friends all laugh at that story because they thought it was like cute or something, it was fun. But I cringe because I was like, ooh, that means I stood out, like, and people were looking at me. But at the same time, you kind of like want the fame, like you want the money that comes with the fame, but you don't want none of the other stuff,
Yeah.
because it's like all the other stuff can be kind of bad. Like, I don't know.
Trade off again.
It is, yeah.
What are you willing to trade off, right? Like.
Yeah, I know that's like if you want to become more, like say you want to be, what's his name? From Mayo Clinic, super smart functional medicine, Mark Hyman.
Yeah.
If you want to be like Mark, he had to probably go through a lot of battles to get to a position where he's at, and he's a medical doctor, was a cardiologist, I do believe, or something like that.
I think that's his.
Yeah, and then to do functional medicine, and then to like, I'm sure his colleagues and other people, I'm just like your colleagues and my colleagues, just like, what is that?
Oh, I got a lot of crap for doing just like, why, you went to do ER, why are you leaving that behind? It's like, and I'm like,
I wanted to know the why.
Yeah.
Like, so like people would, like my first few years in practice, they would be like, you need to eat grass-fed beef. And I would be like, why?
Yeah.
Okay, somebody break it down to me why.
Yeah.
Well, like grass-fed beef versus normal beef. Mm-hmm. Well, the ratio's off on the omega-3s, and then it's going to mess up your, like, talk to me on the why behind it. But people are just like, I just eat organic. Like, okay, like, it's important to know why, because why did I pay $8 for this tomato when I can get it for $2?
Yeah.
I need to know these things, because as a clinician, patients ask me why. Mm-hmm. And if I don't know the why, then it's just like, well, just do it because it's good for you.
Why did you start? Is that the reason you started adding functional into your practice?
Yes, because I just got tired, like people, because we come from chiropractic world, so everything's holistic, and people would be like, holistic, and I didn't even know that much about probiotics until I started getting into gut health and stuff like that, and then all this stuff from school started coming back, like, oh yeah, your gut does produce a lot of neurotransmitters. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This is, just, and you start putting the stuff together. But if all you're doing is just following what your professor says, or, like your best friend says, like, I drink bulletproof coffee. Great.
Do you know the reason? Yeah.
Yeah. I want to know, I want to know that there's no pesticides in it. And this is what it's doing to my gut lining. I want to know. Like, and I'm not trying to promote any product. I'm just talking top of my,
in general, yeah.
Or I'm not trying to crap on anybody's products or anything either.
No, I mean, it is important to know. Like, I mean, how many people do we talk to and they're like, yeah, I'm on this med and this med, but I'm not really, they don't even know for sure why they're taking it. Like, so it's the same thing. But did you see I was listening to some podcast and they were talking about they're using certain, probiotics. Like there was a guy who he was the only one during like this battle time thing that he did not get sick at all. So they took samples of his gut microbiome and then they're inoculating other people with it, like to like help immune boosting. But they're like super healthy people or people that have certain like really good like they're using it, or they're even taking samples of your own. So if you have to undergo like some kind of surgery or something that's going to really hurt your immunity, you can re-inoculate yourself with your own bacteria, like after a thing. So it's really kind of gotten interesting.
Yeah. Isn't that what the appendix is for, though? Like I've read, okay, so the appendix.
It's immune.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's an ancient storage site.
Yeah.
For like your bacteria. So in times of like when things get really crappy, that your body actually borrows from that reservoir. Now I could be wrong. I could be just making this crap up.
Maybe.
But I feel
Yeah.
like I read that somewhere because it's just like another one of those things, like you go through school and it's like, oh, God put that there. He didn't really mean to. Let's just cut it off. You don't really need a thymus.
No,
it
was for immunity. I don't know the reservoir thing. I don't know. But
so that would be a good nerd fact to look up.
That would be a good nerdy thing. I'll have to look it up after this. But yeah, I just thought that was cool because they're doing so many things with like culturing out these gut microbes, and I'm like, man, it'd be kind of cool to have some of my gut microbes just like when I'm in a really good space and eating really clean, just have them stored to the side in case you need them. Like I don't know.
It's a little new concept, and it seems kind of strange. Like we're sharing gut microbes. It's like I don't know if I like it or not.
I mean, I don't know if I was like in a space where I was going to be really exposed and I could have some real like strong gut microbes. I don't know. It's just interesting. There's a lot of research out there right now with everybody knows now that how important the gut is and the microbe, and that's huge with immunity in your brain.
That's why chiropractors weren't scared of COVID. Yeah. It's their world. We live in it. Mm-hmm. Bacteria and viruses, and they think they can. So this is my problem with science too. Like a lot of times, we think we can just sanitize the planet or spray things in the atmosphere. We can just geoengineer everything.
Yeah.
And Mother Nature always has a way of rebelling back. So I just don't agree with that. I think that you should live in balance with
in a harmony.
Yes.
With it, yes.
Like, how about everyone start washing their hands? Like, that would have been a great lesson before COVID, and it probably would have saved stuff. Like, how about sanitizing things like your tables that you lay on or whatever? Just like little stuff like that. But I don't think that we need to wear rubber gloves and masks everywhere because I think that causes more problems than anything.
So and I'll say this, I said this the whole time, social isolation caused way more issues than COVID ever did. And I strongly believe that, and it's still causing issues now.
Yeah.
I've heard so many people talking about how like young people have a hard time even talking without a device. You know what I mean? Like we've lost this... Like we've lost a lot of this basic communication, with just being able to have like relationships and sit with somebody and actively listen to them. And I don't know, I feel like there's something.
So like I'm gonna call out like half a generation, and I don't mean to call them out in a bad way. Mm-hmm. Like my parents are baby boomers, so the way they receive information and absorb it is totally different than me being a Gen X or someone who's a millennial. Mm-hmm. Okay, so those are the like next two categories that are into the next stages of adulthood. So this right here, podcast can seem like a news information for them or everything 100% factual because they're so programmed to think that Dan Rather, the news channel person or whatever, because that's who they grew up with. They grew up with like Walter Cronkite, Dan Rather, somebody, and they came on and said, "Today we landed on the moon." And that was fact.
Listen,
today somebody got shot.
Can I tell you this really stupid thing I did? I'm going to tell you this. Yeah. This is so embarrassing. I can't believe I say this on the podcast, but I got to tell you this. We're sitting at lunch and I know nothing about space. Okay, it's never been something I cared about. Yeah. Okay, so let me just preface this terrible story I'm about to tell you. So anyways, they're sitting there talking about how we definitely never went to the moon the first time or whatever. They're talking about that, and they're like, yeah, look at the videos and the fact that there's just this flag, and the fact that you had such clear reception. So they're saying all stuff, and I'm so confused listening to them talking about it, and I'm like,
The umbilical cord one gets me. They have that astronauts float, and it's totally a fake studio set and fake stars in the background.
This has to be in the top stupidest things I've said in my life, like top 3. But I was like, don't we go to the moon all the time?
Yeah. Yeah, it's around the block, yeah.
Like, isn't that like, don't we have like a whole, and they're like, what are you talking about? Like, this, like, the rocket they were talking about, and they're like, that's supposed to be the second time. And I'm like, yeah, that's how bad.
So we have an ongoing, like, I don't know, something funny going on in our family. So my brother-in-law is an electrical engineer, and he works at NASA. Okay, so they will bring him on, and he does projects for them. And what's that space shuttle Artemis or what did that just win? So like me and his daughter is going to be a physician assistant as well too. Like we're the conspiracy theorists of the house. Okay, so she's like, yeah, Dad's working on that, and they didn't like land on the moon, and it's like. But they weren't supposed to land on the moon. They're just going around
it. Yeah.
So we're like in our family group chat, and we're talking smack about NASA, and just like that. And then poor him, he's over there, has to defend himself. Like, I'm working on these damn projects. This is real, guys, and I'm just like, yeah. And we're just having a blast with it. We're like, yeah, you're part of the conspiracy. Like, and he's like, how can I be part of the conspiracy? We are working on this mission. And so part of me is just like, yes, that stuff in the 60s and stuff like that. But modern age is like, I have a real reliable source inside that's telling me like they really did freaking launch that thing. Like,
well, they're so Moorhead, I guess, is a huge part of, like, they have, like, I guess, like, they work closely with
cool.
NASA.
I know they have like an observatory thing.
They have a whole like graduate level like space thing, and they do all kinds of, like, they were involved with like the trajectory stuff of that. I guess because like one of the president came down and spoke at Rhodey, was talking about all that. I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't.
That's really cool.
But anyways, so I was like, maybe I should pay more attention to space things, because I clearly don't know anything.
I mean, it's hard enough on Earth. I know.
I got too much to do around here.
Yeah, I know. Next thing you know, but I'm a big nerd like that. I'll watch all the space movies and stuff. Yeah. Like, I want it so bad to be real.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't say like things are conspiracy just to be conspiracy. I want it to be real. I would love for us to be like going to Mars and going to all these different places.
Oh, I definitely think there's so many like other life forms. I mean, it's such a huge planet. I mean, you can go for, I don't know what the statistic is, but like billions of years and not reach the end, right? Like, it's just like insane. It's huge. Like, so just to think about how little itty bitty we are compared to like.
Yeah, I mean, but I still think that money, like if you're going to spend like $10 billion to go to Mars, I would rather feed 10 billion people. Yeah. Like there's a lot better use of that money. I don't know if like we're going to necessarily get any more function by just, oh, look, I landed on a by the way, you can't come back. This is like a one-way mission. You're not like, oh, this isn't Star Trek. Like, oh, just beam me back. Like, this is...
It could be like that movie that, what's-his-face, Ryan Gosling was just in, and he met his other...
Project Hail Mary?
Yeah, he met a friend and hung out for the rest of
That was a good movie, actually.
That was a great movie. I loved it. Anyways, but... Okay, we went really off into a random corner here.
I wonder what gut health is like on Mars.
Would you take the ride to find out?
I'll take a sample of your gut with me so I can inoculate myself.
I love it. Okay, well, what are your plans? What are you doing now? Like you said, you were introducing peptides. What else is coming?
Yeah, so I'm introducing them, but with the legality of everything, like you have to set it up in a way where it's, and I didn't, that's the part I don't like, it's like, so working with Jill, who's one of the people helping me, she's helping me set all that up. So and we just got into it, and there's like all kinds of, you can't do this, you can't say that, and then it just every step is like harder. And then, but it's gonna, I'm trying to find easier ways for people to have access to those things.
Yeah.
Without necessarily, you know what? I want you to go talk to Dr. Johnson, your doctor for the last 30 years. Like, you can talk to him about what you're doing, but what I'm finding out is Dr. Johnson is probably going to talk you out of it. Mm-hmm. And I know it sounds strange or weird. Not that I want to go against Dr. Johnson's better judgment, but I feel like some practitioners are getting into their ego again.
Yeah.
Instead of just like, okay, well, this may be good for the patient.
Yeah.
And that's I'm just trying to bridge that gap. Like, how can the communication?
It's the same thing. You don't know how many people are still telling patients like, "Oh, you should never have bioidentical hormones." I'm like, I have legit seen them like completely change people's lives in 100-fold way, and like that you don't like the people telling them this have no experience with it, don't know anything, have not done any education, and they're just telling people, "Oh, it's no good. You're gonna get cancer from it." And I'm like, no, like it's just like the stuff people say because they're not educated on it.
Well, that's why I decided to like do the stuff myself. Like, so I was just like, okay, I've read so much on NAD on how it can help people. Let me try it myself. I mean, it's not that I'm suffering from those things, but like one of the biggest things I noticed right at like the second day after taking it, and I use a nose spray.
Yeah.
It's not even like injection or anything. And my energy, like my clarity, and it hasn't gone away since I've been like it's just I can tell like if I purposely skipped a day or two of it, and I could tell that something I wasn't but I was still up there pretty good. And it's not like you get like this Red Bull type energy. It's nothing like that. It's all like I wake up and I'm fresh, and I can, and I'm alert at work, and like I was like, man, I was really feeling lethargic and tired and like lack of motivation. Like something's going on in me that's off. And I'm 46 now, so I decided to start, okay, now is a time to start getting under care myself with other functional medicine doctors and things like that. Let me see, because before I would always take it from approach of, well, I'm not sick. I don't want to do, like I'll take it if I'm sick or I'm doing that.
Yeah.
But I think now my next thing is I want to see what is that, Simorland?
Yeah, it's the one I do. My athletes have liked it. I've had a few on
but
it.
you told me about that one concern you
got
have.
the cancer. They can't have any like cancer history or anything because it's a growth. I mean, it's a growth hormone. Like it stimulates that. So if you got cancer.
Yeah, I'm interested in. I mean, I heard a lot of good things about it.
But it's good for recovery and like that kind of stuff. A lot of my athletes have liked it.
That's reason why I want it, because like when people are recovering from like back pain and neck pain, I figured something. But I'm also glutathione, for the liver. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Let's see, methylene blue.
Methylene blue, there's a lot.
I'm kind of interested. If I take that, they always say you pee blue.
Yeah, you do. But also the glutathione, I think, can't you do like high protein though, and that'll give you the foundational blocks for a lot of the glutathione, I think.
Okay.
I believe if I'm saying that right. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty.
I know they took it off like the market for a while, like on purpose. Like I mean, I heard it's for like a lot of fatty liver detoxing and stuff like that.
I mean, it's a really important antioxidant, and it's like found most places in the body. And then, of course, anybody who's drinking heavily, I mean, they're depleting their glutathione really bad. But it's important.
Yeah, I just always kind of fascinated me about.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff out there.
But nothing like big. Like I'm not big into GLP-1s, but I know this company likes to bundle say a GLP-1 that's more rated for your muscles rather than your gut, and then they'll bundle it with like NAD or something like that.
I have questions about GLP-1s every day, and people want me to, and I'm like,
Short term, I would say go for it, but long term, I don't know.
Here's the thing, though. Everybody that I've ever seen, they all gain their weight back if they stop, and they have lost their muscle and they don't get it back. They just get their fat.
They
back.
they don't learn the right way. It's because we want all these hacks.
We want all quick fixes.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing people that want like a 30-pound weight loss. Just let me just jump on GLP-1 because this is an easy thing to do, and I'm like, that is not like. You know, you got to, there's something to be said about like learning the mastery of self. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm saying this from a place that I still struggle with it. I'm not being like mean.
You don't
want
to be a salesman, like just selling stuff. Like this is my big, like I've run into a block.
Yeah.
I don't like selling stuff.
Yeah.
Like even if I have like a multivitamin sitting on the shelf or probiotic or something, I just don't like it just feels like off to me, off natural. Like, but I'd love to educate people on those things if they want it. Like, how do you make the best of both worlds? Like without, you just gotta get over yourself.
You have a good marketer in your office.
And rob you.
You have somebody that'll do all the selling while you do all the educating. That's how you do that.
Yeah. It's just, but I mean, even I always get into that stumbling block. Like at the end of the day, you have to, like, if you're trying to sell product and you're selling it because it's good for them.
Yeah.
And you just got to get over yourself. There's something inside of all of us, like where, we just got to get over ourselves somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, tell people your office, how they can get a hold of you. Also, like what events you're doing with your food truck coming up in the next few months.
Oh, geez.
If you know.
I don't know. Well, our food truck, we'll start there. Our food truck usually goes out a couple days a week.
Okay.
We like either Mondays, Wednesdays, or like on the weekend, like Saturday. Sometimes I think we're going to be this Friday across the street at Saltstone Brewery.
Okay.
So we'll be there from like 5 to 8 or something.
Okay.
And so that's where we'll be at with the food truck. My office is located. The easiest way to remember is that abandoned Blockbuster and Foodland building on 13th Street.
13th, yes.
Yeah, it's a great place to put an office.
Yeah.
No, it's easy to find. I mean, it's us, and then Dr. Marutis, the eye doctor, is in the building in front of us. So we're in the back side.
I remember I had to look up the glutathione thing real quick because it is a tripeptide, so it's glutamate, cysteine, and glycine, which cysteine is usually the limited one, so you can do like NAC, which has the cysteine too.
Okay.
To indirectly increase your glutathione.
Okay.
I was just talking about that in my one of my functional med classes, so I had to clarify that, or it's going to make me insane.
I know, and that's the tricky part about functional medicine. Thank you for that. It's like you really have to get your things in order.
Well,
so
if you want to like indirectly raise that glutathione, get more cysteine protein intake, and it'll help with that. We had just talked about that in my energy class. I just had like a mitochondrial class, and they were talking about that, and I wanted to. So it's kind of fun.
Interesting. Yeah. Thank you for that knowledge.
Yeah. Random things.
Yes.
Random sidetracks.
I'll feel smarter saying that to somebody. Well, see, you really want
to. Okay, but all right. So that's your office. Are you on Facebook? I can't.
I am on Facebook
or Instagram or TikTok or any of the.
You know, I never got into Instagram because I just couldn't take pictures of myself all the time. Like I'm just not that dude. Like I've really.
You could just take pictures of random people's backs or joints. And
it's really weird. Sometimes I get like super self-conscious and I don't want to be. And then, but when I'm around people, I'm like, yeah, let me get in front. Like I don't know. I think I have a disorder or something.
I love it. It's okay.
It's like, oh, I cringe. I'm like, post my Instagram selfie on there all the time. Like, look at me, I'm at Starbucks.
You could be like, if Lainey was your person, she would tell you, you need to look more professional. You cannot look like the way you are when you take, like, I'll do the little videos and I'll look like such like I'll look ridiculous and I'll just be like, oh, I'm inspired to say something about something, but I look like
you're like just got done painting
so
something.
skanky, like, or something. I don't know. That's probably not a good word for this. But
well, I think people are looking some people are just looking for more authentic and real life. So
that's what I'm calling myself.
Yeah.
I'm just authentic for where I'm at. It's even if I look ridiculous, it's okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. You're not going to. You probably don't want those people in your practice though that don't like you for who you are either.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I know I don't. I've been doing that. Like I've been doing that in practice lately, and I subconsciously. It's just like I've been first time in my life. I've just been like, well, maybe you're not the right fit.
No,
like
I've said it.
I was just like, wow, I can't believe I'm everybody's welcome.
Yes.
But I'm not begging
you to come.
I'm just like whatever.
No, I really have like the best clients. Like, I really do. I have like the best clients, but yeah, I have no problem. Like, especially like, I don't like anything like if you're going to be really like rude or something.
Yeah.
Like that is not like, you can go ahead and like, I'm totally fine. You go ahead and, but I don't have any, I have really great clients. Like they're amazing.
Same. They just, I mean, cause I talk a lot in my practice
Yes,
and people engage and I want to get to know them. That's how you find out what's wrong with them.
Yes.
You don't find
well, and a lot of times it may not be a physical thing.
Yeah.
It may be they're in a horrible relationship, or maybe there's some kind of spiritual piece missing, or maybe they're stressed beyond belief and it's causing some physical symptoms. Like, it may not always be like just they're out of alignment, and maybe they are, but there's something. You know what I mean? Like,
I've had patients in the past like, oh yeah, my last ex-husband, was like, he'd push me down the steps and was like abusive and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Like and they're such awesome people when they walk through the door and you wouldn't even realize something has happened to them like that.
Yes.
So it's just, that's why I'm just like, man, everyone's welcome. Yeah. But if you got, like you said, a stinking attitude, or there's other chiropractors in town, by all means go there.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, they're not as good as me, but I know that for a fact.
You're in your feels today.
Oh, dude,
you're not having any confidence issues today.
No, not today. But I know that's a factual statement. That's a factual statement. How can I back that up? I guess you just listen to the.
They have to come see you and find out.
They have to find out. They have to come try it out. But I'm sure you can get community feelers. You can go out there and just
find out.
Yeah, find out.
Yeah. Okay, is there anything before we wrap up that you want to say that we didn't? I know we were all over the place. I love it, but
this is a great. I mean, I love doing it. We could do this.
We can do a repeat episode. I'm totally cool to have people back when we got stuff to say. It's all good.
That'd be cool.
But if there's some word of wisdom you want to impart before we wrap it up,
is this that quote?
Well, I always end with the quote, but I was giving you a last. I've got it pulled up here.
Okay, I'll use this quote because I remember it from my yearbook.
Okay.
And it was kind of stupid, but we had to come up with a quote in your senior.
So Dr.
yearbook.
Asif is sending us out with our quote today.
Okay, so one of the things is like people, they have rough times in life. Yes. So like it happens.
I'm not laughing about people.
Why are you laughing?
It was just the way you said it. People they
have rough times. And it's happened to me. It's happened to you.
Yes.
So you're always encouraged to stand up. So I like the quote, and my friends gave me a hard time about it because they're jerks. You should always
have friends that are jerks.
Yeah, I know they're jerks. But it just sticks with me. It's like the harder you fall, the higher you bounce.
I love it.
Yeah.
Do you know who said it?
I have no round ball.
I'm gonna look this up.
I don't know who said it.
The harder you fall,
the higher you bounce.
Oh, I found it. Let's see.
It's like Mark Twain or something. I don't know.
It comes from the poem "How Did You Die" by Edmund Vance Cook.
Wow. I don't know that person never read poetry.
Well, it was at your school.
Edward Vance Cook.
Cook.
Okay.
All right. Well, that was great,
Yeah.
and we'll have to do another one sometime. But thank you for coming on here and, talking about random crap with me. I love it.
Yeah, it was fun. We'll have to do it again. Thank you for having me.
All right. See y'all the next time.